If your relationship sucks right now, my advice to you, be, do, have. You've probably heard this expression before. If you're in a relationship that isn't going so well at the moment or it feels really bad, I want you to try a little experiment. Be the person you want to be. Do the things that person would do and see what happens. See if you have this. So, for example, if you usually ignore your partner when you see them or feel like you're walking on eggshells around them, start saying good morning instead or ask how their day was. Or if you'd like your partner to make you a cup of tea in the morning or in the evening, do it for them as well as yourself. Let them be surprised at the change in you and observe if they behave any differently in response. But give them some time to adjust to this new change too, and don't expect them to change immediately either. Be the opposite of what you're currently being. Say and do the opposite of what you've been saying and doing lately, and have the opposite of what you're having right now. Makes sense, right? Or pretend you're an actor in a movie and you're really happy. Fake it if you have to. Just try it. Try it for a week. You see, we create our reality and we can change the script of our lives, our trajectory, our timelines at any given moment. It's a choice we can make. We often think we are reacting in response to others, but more often than not, it's that they are reacting in response to us. If you can change the story you keep telling yourself, the script of your life, and embody a new you, the you actually want to be, you might be nicely surprised. But if you find you can't do this, maybe because you're too angry or hurting, then something is blocking you. So reach out for a chat. Our minds are very stubborn, especially the older we get. They can start to take over too, thinking they're the boss. They're not. We're the boss of our mind, and we need to tell our mind what it is we want. You see, the mind's job is to keep us safe. So when something happens, it searches for a similar experience and reminds us of how we felt back then. I'm constantly telling my mind to shut the fuck up and calm down. This isn't the person or situation from the past. And I'm going to tell you what this means, not the other way around. You see, the meaning we give a situation creates the result. So we can either tell our mind that our partner is probably ignoring us because they're tired and stressed from work, or we can tell our mind that they do this every day and they'll never change because they're just an asshole. Two very different ways of behaving on your part will take place, and two very different results will be created here. You've got to change your mindset to change what's going on in your life. We can't control other people or situations, but there's 3 things we can control. Number 1, our behavior, what we do and say, including how we say and do it. Number 2, our visual imagery, what we decide to see, the meaning we give it, and the beliefs we infuse into our reality. And number 3, the thoughts we decide to have right now, whether they be negative or positive. Have you ever had this experience? You come home after a bad day, not realizing your partner has had one too. You're shitty and you snap at them and they snap back. Pretty soon you're both bickering or arguing over something as little as whose fault it is for not putting out the rubbish. Now you're angry with one another rather than the crappy day you've just had. It triggers old wounds, most probably stemming from when you were a child, and now you're fighting with the past, which the other person wasn't even a part of. This emotion is coming up to be healed, but often we don't know what to do with that. I do know what to do, and I can help you with this. I've wanted a loving relationship for many years now. Somewhere in my distorted mind, I decided it was my partner's responsibility to be affectionate towards me. I need hugs and cuddles in bed, but he rarely does this. Not because he doesn't want to, because he's not used to it. And with all the work I've done on myself, how can I expect him to know this shit when it's taken me so long to get it? In the past, I'd get the shits when he didn't cuddle me, become resentful even. Do you think that helped? No way. A terrible result, in fact. These days, I cuddle him when I need it. So now, hopefully, he's becoming used to this. I also ask him to cuddle me when I crave this, but I've had to work really hard on speaking up for my needs. Why? Because I find it uncomfortable, embarrassing even. I'm afraid of feeling vulnerable. And honestly, I don't want to be rejected. But there's nothing wrong with feeling vulnerable because it's vulnerability, openness, and honesty that lead to deeper connections in relationships. What are you thinking? This is the life you're manifesting, you know.